actually the animal that's probably the most scared of us. So it's very important as we go around that we're nice and quiet. That way they don't respond out of fear. There are things that happen here to reduce that fear. Because we don't want our animals to be scared. Imagine how hard your life would be if you spent every second of every day afraid. It could make you physically sick. So there are things, like I said, just the fact that you guys came to visit us today is helping socialize these wolves. These wolves are learning that people aren't so bad after all if they're standing out here. So you have an opportunity to actually see the wolves. If there were wild wolves in these pens, they'd be running as far away from you as they possibly could. And this one did respond to the truth. As soon as those doors opened, what sense did they use? They went, whoa, humans here. Got to make sure my space is secure. So you might have noticed when you first came over, she was kind of running in a pattern along the edge of that enclosure. That's a guarding behavior. They do that as well in the wild, just on a much larger scale. So she's just making sure everything's still secure in this enclosure because you're here. Doesn't mean she's necessarily scared of you, but she's on security alert. So, only 2 species of wolves in this country. What are they? Gray or? Nope. Red. Gray or red. That's it. Only 2 choices. There's only one type of red wolf that exists today. There are several different subspecies of gray, and their subspecies is defined by geography. So one of the things I really like about this place is that you're going to see differences as we go. But in general, which of those 2 like the snow? Red or gray? Gray. Gray are designed for the snow. Hair length is long and very full. They have big bushy tails. They have great big feet. They have big or small ears? Big. Yeah, you don't want radiators up here in the snow. You want radiators in the heat, right? So shorter, furrier ears for the grays. You'll see the difference when you see the red wolves in a little while. We're starting off here with a gray wolf, and it's the smallest gray wolf that we have here in the United States. It's referred to as the Mexican gray wolf because it is from the Southwest. They live down in New Mexico and Arizona. Wait a minute, I thought you said they like the snow. How do you get snow in New Mexico and Arizona? What? How does the snow? How do you get snow down in the Southwest? Yeah, you gotta go up. You gotta go up into the mountains, up in elevation, and that's where you're gonna still get snow. And the Mexican gray wolves are just there. No other gray wolves live in that area. No red wolves live in that area. So why are the Mexican gray wolves here? Because they would never pick Minnesota to live in. They can survive here in captivity just fine, but not out in the wild. Well, this is the most critically endangered species of wolves we have in the United States. What does that mean? Go ahead.
People have been killing them and eating them, so there's not that many left.
When the wolves were put on the endangered species in the mid-1970s, there are only 7 Mexican gray wolves left on the planet. All the rest of them have been shot and killed. Number 1 reason they were being removed, they were eating our cows. Can you blame them?
No.
Cows taste good, don't they? We know that.
Yeah.
And they're much easier to catch than a deer is. It was like McDonald's moving into the neighborhood when humans started to keep livestock in their backyard. All the wild predators were like, nice. Boy, my life's a lot easier now, Jim. I don't have to go look for food anymore. I go to the fenced-in zone over here, and there's cows in there, and they're there every day. And boy, those things are big, and they're slow. And I'm gonna eat again tomorrow. Why not? There's food there, right? How many times do you eat on average in a month? Do simple math. 3 meals a day, about
90.
30 days in a month.
90.
So 90 times a month you eat. Plus or minus. How many times does a wolf eat in a month? 2 to 3 times. That's it. That's it. That's how hard it is being a wild predator, you guys. Because every time you're hungry, you have to find the food. You got to chase it down. You got to take it down, and then you got to share it. If you're a wolf, with the rest of your pack members. So having that carnivore lifestyle isn't easy, even though they're very well designed for it. They're designed to run. They're designed to hunt. But deer are that much easier, better at getting away. That's why those cows, especially, became an easy target for wolves. A wolf can eat 20 pounds of food in a single meal, but then have to survive on that for a week or more. So different life for these guys. So 7 starting out in the 1970s. Now there are over 300 Mexican gray wolves alive, thanks to breeding programs across the country, where not the adults, but the babies are the ones that go back out into the wild. This is still considered an endangered species, and that's because fewer than 100 Mexican gray wolves actually live in the wild. So they still need our support. Do you think 65 wolves is enough? No. Most people would say no. And I'll just give you a comparison. That's 65 wolves in 2 states. We have over 2,500 wolves right here in Minnesota alone. So biologically speaking, probably more wolves could survive in the Southwest, but until we can increase the public acceptance of wolves down there, that number will remain pretty low. So, how many wolves are in here? 1. Do you think there is only 1 in here?
No.
Why not? That's right, they like to live in packs. They like to be social. Doesn't mean they always get along, but they do like to be social with one another. So even though you haven't seen it, there is a second wolf in here. They are sisters. Is that good? Yeah, no, you're all right. It all depends on the time of the year, whether or not they're getting along. Because even though they are sisters, one of them has to be the boss in here. This pack still needs a leader. And the leader of the pack is the one who's been on patrol since you guys arrived. She's, again, making sure things are secure. Where's her sister then?
I do.
Her sister is underground in the den. Not by choice. She's in timeout. A very subtle way for her sister, the boss, to remind her that she's the boss by walking her down in that box and not letting her come out. So she's learned her lesson, whatever that is. It's not always about fighting. A lot of times it's body language. Very subtly you were kind of seeing it when she was running around. Her tail was sticking straight out. It's a subtle reminder again to your sister that she's number 1. Not very aggressive. If she wanted to be really aggressive, she'd curl that tail right over her back. But that sister, I haven't seen out yet today. Although, I have to tell you, I envy the sister that's underground right now, because it's a lot cooler down there and there are no insects down there. So she's probably in the best spot in that enclosure that they're talking about. Questions about Mexican gray wolves? We'll talk some more about some behavior things as we go. Yeah.
How old do they live up to?
Good question. In the wild, on average, 6 to 8 years old. That's it. They live longer here, 11 to 13 on average here. The oldest wolf, Bob probably told you inside.
No.
Oh, it's where you guys started with it. Hurts today. I'm so excited for you. Okay, I won't tell you then. I'll tell you about it. Because she's the one inside. That's on the mantle in there. You have to see this one marking. Oh, very nice. Did she squat?
Yeah.
Oh, no. You might have squatted, but I bet you she lifted her leg. Right? Raised leg urination. One of the only behaviors you can see here every day that will tell you who the boss is.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody else that's lower in rank must squat when they pee, out of respect to the leader or leaders, depending upon the structure of the pack. So one girl lifts her leg in here, the other one has to squat. Cool. Another question. Not gonna ever happen.